All right, I think it takes a few seconds, so we'll give it a few seconds.
Okay.
All right, cool. So even though we just did an episode yesterday, you jumped right back into the book. I think the brand chapter probably like sparked like a little bit of a fire. So I gotta see what's happening next. All right, so you read. Why don't you tell me the 3 chapters that you read?
Tyrion, is that how you say it, the dwarf guy? Jon, and then Dany.
Cool. And then so we left off with Tyrion and Jon. Well, we left off with Tyrion when he had talked to Jon at the banquet. We left off with Jon when he was being discussed about going to the wall. And then we left off with Dany. She got recently betrothed to Khal Drogo, correct? Okay. All right. So we'll do the first one first. Tyrion, chapter 1. This is our first Tyrion POV. Finally get into his mind.
Yeah, he's funny. I like him.
Yeah.
So it starts off with like him in like a library, and he mentions he doesn't get a lot of sleep, so he's like reading some whatever, and then he talks to this one, like I want to say he's like kind of like maybe a kid or something. It seemed like someone younger than him, but I think he called him a Septon, or maybe I don't know, but his name was Chael. I
don't even know.
Okay, cool. It doesn't really matter then. That was the only guy I had like written down. But so then he goes out of the library and he sees Joffrey and that like really big guy, but I forgot what his name. It's like Clegane.
Sandor Clegane, the Hound.
Everybody
referred to him as the Hound. Yeah.
And it was mentioned that he had like a really ugly like scar on his face or something.
He has a badly burned face. I think half of his face is very badly burned.
Yikes. So he meets up with them and he like asks, or I think he tells Joffrey like, hey, you should go like give your respects to Ned and Catelyn, because like their son is like, it's been a few days and their son is on his deathbed almost. Right, and he's like, okay, well, what is my respects gonna do? Like that doesn't like mean anything. And then Tyrion like slaps him in the...
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, Tyrion slaps him in the face, and then Joffrey's like, oh my god, like I'm gonna tell my mom. And then I forgot what he said. He was like, yeah, you should tell her or whatever. Like I don't care. And then he slaps him again. He slaps him again, which I thought was so funny. And then after that, Joffrey was like, okay, fine, like I'll go. And then the Hound was like, the prince is gonna remember this. And he's like, I sure hope he does. Like,
yeah.
I just
a little bit of a G.
Bro, he like does not like stand down at all. He was like talking to them like they were meaningless. I thought it was so funny. And so after that, he goes and finds his brother because he asked the Hound where his brother was. Jaime and I forget, Cersei. And so they're eating or whatever. So he's eating with them. And Bran gets brought up again, and Jaime and Cersei are clearly like, yeah, no, he's not going to live. Like, there's no way he lives. And then Tyrion's like, he has a chance to live. Like, he might live, guys. And Cersei and Jaime are, like, giving each other looks that Tyrion picks up on. And I think the kids are there as well, Cersei's kids. They're just, honestly, they're all yapping, blah, 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 blah. And then Tyrion says something like when or if he wakes up, like I'm curious of what he's going to like remember and what he's gonna say.
Yeah.
And Jaime was like, sometimes I don't know what side you're like really on.
Right.
To Tyrion, and he's like, what do you mean? Like I love my family, and that was how it ended.
Right.
But I underlined in the book
that I always still wonder, like, does Jaime know that Tyrion knows?
Because I feel like they have to. Like, why would he say that?
Yeah, because why would Bran be waking up and reporting something be bad for the Lannisters?
Yeah.
No, so he even saying that is an admission of guilt.
Yeah, and during their conversation when Cersei was there, the wolves got brought up, like the kids' wolves, and she was like, "Those wolves like have no place in the South." And then later on, George R. Martin like refers to Tyrion's smile like wolfishly, and I thought that was cool because it's like, I don't know if that was intentional,
cool.
but
That's cool. I don't think I've ever picked up on that. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah. Oh, and then it was mentioned that Tyrion might not go back to the South, and he might be going to the Wall with Jon and Ben.
Yeah. Yep. Does it say, not that it's a major point, but does it say why he wants to go to the wall?
He said there was no real reason. He was just like, yeah, I just want to see the wall like that everyone's been talking about. And then he said he wanted to like piss off the wall or something. Like I forgot what the term he used, but it was funny.
Right. Yeah, because the wall should be something that people see. Like, you have these people dedicating their life to protecting you. Like, that's the official role of the Night's Watch. More people should go and pay their respects and see this grand thing, but everybody just kind of views it like it's worthless.
It's just
like,
the wall.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No, I think honestly, I don't have too much to add there. The main thing I thought was the looks between Cersei and Jaime, and Tyrion picking up on that. Us as a reader obviously knows, but now we know, okay, Tyrion probably knows as well. And they know that Tyrion knows, but nobody's overtly saying it.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Jon II. And I feel like Jon and Tyrion's at this point are kind of going hand in hand. They're both planning on going to the wall. It's just two different perspectives of that trip.
Yeah. With Jon, like, there wasn't too much that happened. I think like the beginning is just him like deciding to go see Bran before he leaves, because he's like about to leave. And oh my gosh, like as soon as he gets in there, the freaking mom, like she's like I think I wrote down like Cat being an asshole right off the bat, because he's like trying to see his brother that's like, ill, and she's like, what are you doing here?
She's the worst, man.
I don't like her. I don't like her either. And at the beginning, I like didn't have a problem with her because she, like, obviously there was nothing wrong with her. But now she's just an asshole all the time.
Yeah.
So he gets in there, and she's being an asshole, and then John's like, I want to see my brother, and she's like, I'm gonna call the guards, and he's like, you can, like, I'm going to see my brother right now, because like this could be the last time I see him before I leave. And so he goes to see his brother. I was kind of confused on how it was worded, because the way like Jon described how his eyes looked, it sounded like they were open, but I don't think they are. I wish I could like see. Hold on.
Yeah, that could be interesting, because well, I won't go too much into it, but if his eyes are physically open, it could be a little bit, even though it's physically open, it could be a metaphorical point that he's making.
Yeah, he said his eyes were sunken deep into the black pits, open, but they saw nothing. So I was like,
yeah, okay.
His eyes are open?
So, yeah, I think George is kind of doing something pretty slick here, that his eyes are physically open, but they're not seeing anything.
Yeah.
And I think that that's a metaphor for Bran at this point. You don't understand that. You won't understand that until future chapters. But his eyes are open, but he's not seeing anything. And that's another thing that I've never picked up on. On any read through. So that's kind of cool that you've seen that.
Yeah. So that makes me so sad. Well, anyway, so, Jon gets over there, is talking to his brother, like, I hope you get better. Like, you need to survive. Like, you will live, Bran. And then Cersei, or not Cersei.
Might as well be Cersei.
Yeah, pretty much. Catelyn's like, I don't remember exactly what she said, but she was basically just like reminiscing on Bran and saying things like he was my boy and blah 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 blah. And she said something like, I prayed that he would like stay here. And Jon was like, it's not your fault that he got injured. And then when he's leaving, Cat calls Jon by his name for the first time.
Can you imagine that, living your whole life and your essentially mother figure has never once in your life said your name?
Yeah,
bro.
And then I literally like wrote a word for word. I was like, Cat calls Jon by his name for the first time just to say that she wishes it was him that freaking fell. And like what? Like, that's crazy. I can't even imagine. That's so sad.
One thing that I've enjoyed this process of seeing you kind of develop from like the very first pages is that I've experienced this chapter with Catelyn. So everything, a lot of my opinions are based off of this moment. you know, a lot of my negative feelings. So even when I reread it before, I already have those preconceived notions of like, I don't like her. So I don't know if you've noticed, but like there's even been a few times like leading up to this where I have like negative thoughts about Catelyn, but you were very neutral and rightfully so. So it's good for my perspective to be like, yeah, there's a neutrality emotion towards Catelyn. And not that it matters too much, but even in the community, there's a bit of a debate on a lot of people hate her, and then other people will say there's not a true reason to hate her. She has all of these explanations as to why she did these things, man, but nah, I hate her.
I don't know. I just like she's so mean for no reason. And again, it's not Jon's fault that he's like a bastard. Like, why would you be mean to him for that? Like, what?
Right. And even in those moments, like he's even trying to console her, like, you know, because she says, as you said, I prayed that he would stay, and now essentially she's getting her wish, but not in the, you know, almost as if like, oh, did I pray for the wrong thing? And he's like, it's not your fault, you know. And then even through that, she just
right. And like I knew like when she called him, I was like, yeah, she's gonna say something like asshole. And then I was like fuming, bro. I was like, you serious? Gosh. But so then after that, Jon leaves. I think he goes down to like wherever he sees Robb. I get like more information on the relationship. They seem really close. Obviously, it was like mentioned by Ned that they're really close, but like seeing it in person or like, you know, from Jon's perspective was nice. It's clear that Jon is running late. Like they need to have already been gone, but he hasn't because like he's saying goodbye, blah 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 blah.
I thought I feel like there's an important thing that just speaks to Jon's character, but I'm not sure if you're about
yeah, I got you. No, you're good. Robb like knows that his mom is with Bran right now, and so he's like, my mom, and Jon is like, no, she was nice.
Oh man,
no, no, she wasn't.
I mean, you just gotta love Jon through that.
Bro, yeah, like he could have just been like, your mom was a bitch, bro.
Yeah, right. She actually says that she wished I was the one that was in the car. But, you know, whatever, it's all good.
Yeah, like that makes me so sad. But then after that, Robb, like, you know, is obviously relieved.
Right.
He's relieved, and it's just like that makes me sad too, because Robb wants, you know, Jon to feel somewhat welcome, and he's not getting that. Anyway, but I think he just says goodbye. He says someone is looking for, I think it was Ben. He was like, I was told to tell you to go to like somewhere once I saw you. And Jon was like, oh, I have somewhere else to see. And then Robb was like, well, I didn't see you, which I thought was, I don't know, it's like such a sibling thing. But and then he goes to see Arya, and he gives her a gift. It was like a sword. I can't really, I think it's a small sword, but they called it the needle. Which I thought was cute. Yeah, which I thought was funny. I don't think there was much like conversation, just like a bunch of goodbyes, but
in my opinion, he was building on the relationship between Jon and Arya, how close they were, how they finished each other's sentences. And truthfully, I thought some of that was a little bit like cheesy, you know, how they're both like, needle, or you know, like
don't tell Sansa,
right? Yeah. Some of it was a little bit, it reminds me of like a sitcom from the 1990s where they have like that punch, like that cheesy punchline. But to me, the point was Jon and Arya are super close. He got her this meaningful gift, and
and then I think that was it. I made a note about like the free cities, because it's come up a couple times, mainly in Dany's, but I think it finally came up in Jon's. So I made a note about that. But that was it, I think.
So again, the two different continents, Westeros, that's where the north is, that's where King's Landing is. I think we met a few people from Dorne, which is in the very far south of it. That's all Westeros. Dany is over in the eastern continent, Essos, either one, I'm not too sure. And some of the major cities are just called the free cities. I don't know if it's ever overtly stated why they call it the free cities. My assumption is that they don't have a king ruling over them. It's just cities that are essentially governing themselves. So just major cities on the eastern continent.
Okay, cool. I think that was it. But yeah, Jon was getting ready to leave for real this time.
Did he ever meet up with Ben? Because he was saying, oh, Ben needed to see you. Did he ever meet up with Ben? Honestly, I forget.
Not in this chapter, no.
Okay.
I don't remember how it ended, but I know he didn't meet up with him.
Okay. All right, Danny, over to the Essos.
So, this is like the official wedding. Danny is officially gonna marry.
Beautiful ceremony.
Bro, that thing was crazy. Like the descriptions were insane. It was mentioned that it's normal for like multiple guys to die. Like the more guys dying is like
epic wedding.
Yeah, and, like she was like, my wedding must be really blessed because a dozen guys died. Let me go through the people real quick. Okay, so great. There's we were going through her gifts, like her bride's gifts. So we have 3 handsmaids. It was Eerie. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. This one I'm gonna mess up. Jiqui.
I mean, that's probably too proper. Jiqui.
Jiqui. Okay. Cool. And then Doria.
Yeah. I think Doria. Yeah.
Okay.
Might be Doria.
Then we have, I think it's Hago.
So wait, those 3 were given to her from Viserys, but Viserys essentially, it's like when the dad gives the Christmas presents, like
oh, what did you get? Like, oh, cool. Like,
from mom and dad, right, but it's just from mom.
Right. I'll collect the wrapping paper, but so those were given from Viserys, but clearly he had nothing to do with them.
Yeah, Danny mentioned that too. And then Blood Riders were mentioned, which was Hago, Koholo. I'm like sounding super white right now, but and then Gotho.
Sure.
Gotho.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Well, if you don't know, I'm assuming they're not like too important.
I think the idea, and we talked about Blood Riders, so
a little bit.
Yeah, each call has, I think they always have 3 Blood Riders, which is, it's kind of like the Kingsguard. How the Kingsguard, the king has the 7 elite protectors. These calls have 3 people that will give their life to protect them.
Okay, cool. So I think that was all the characters I had.
Now, if I were to ask you, who is Illyrio Mopatis? Does he plays a role here? Does that Magistrate Illyrio?
Oh, okay.
Okay, all right. So his name is Illyrio Mopatis. Magistrate is his title. So sometimes they call him Magistrate Illyrio, or people can call him Illyrio Mopatis.
Mopatis. I think I did see Mopatis, but I didn't make a note because I was like, I don't know what that is. Okay, cool. Yes. I know who that is. I'm locked. Okay. I mentioned Aegon the Conqueror. I don't know if that was like too important.
So he's the one that conquered the 7 kingdoms 300 years ago.
Okay.
So he's the one that came over from Valyria before there was 7 kingdoms. He then conquered everybody, took all their swords, turned it into the Iron Throne.
Yes.
300 years ago.
Yes.
The conquest of 300 years ago. Aegon Targaryen. He's the main leader, or not leader, but the main guy that first came over from that family.
Okay, yeah. I mentioned weird wedding traditions without getting into that. She got eggs for her as a gift, like dragon eggs, I think, or they're eggs, but they're like stone or something. But like the description sounded like dragon eggs. Like those are dragons, bro. There's no way. Like the shell, it's glistening. That's got to be a dragon in there.
It didn't seem like a regular rock.
No, and Illyrio. How do you say that guy's name? Magis something Illyrio. Anyway, he was like, it's been so long. They've been like crusted over, whatever. They're gonna come back to my house.
Looks like you got skeptical hippo eyes.
And then the gift from Drago, which was a horse, which was kind of cool. But yeah, okay. So the wedding. She's like sitting next to Drago the entire time. She's not talking to anybody, which is kind of sad. And she's really anxious the entire time because like she knows like at the end, like she has to go with Drago, and that sucks. And then she's watching the ceremony, the crazy ceremony where people are dying. People are just having like sex in a circle, like just like out. And And she's like, what? Like, this is so weird. And I can just imagine, like, she's like 13 or something.
Right.
And she's being wed and she's never like seen any of these traditions before. So she's like, these aren't like real people. These are just like some monsters in like human like skins. And so yeah, she's like freaking out the entire time. It gets to like the wedding gifts. So she gets a bunch of gifts, you know, the handmaids, I think she gets some like weapons from the blood riders, but Illyria was telling her, like, yeah, once you get these, like, you have to be like, oh, you know, I'm too blah blah blah, like give them to my husband or something.
Yeah, it's essentially 3 gifts for the dude.
Yeah. And then Drago gives
she
her
also
the
got
horse.
books. Do you remember who gave her the books?
Yes. Oh my gosh. No, but I remember she was like really happy about it. Like she was like, I thanked him from the bottom of my heart or something like that. It was someone that wasn't like rich. And she was like, this is all I could afford. Or he said this was all I could afford, but I don't remember who it was.
So Jorah Mormont. If you remember in the very first Dany chapter, she's identifying people and she's like, a knight from Westeros? What's a knight from Westeros doing here? So that's Jorah Mormont. His dad is the commander of the Kings of the Night's Watch. So you'll learn more about Jorah's backstory, but you know, he'll be a more of a major character. So each time his name comes up, you know.
Mormont. Hold on. I have it written down, but I want to make.
Yeah.
Mormont, Sir Jorah Mormont. Okay, cool. So yeah, she gets the books from that guy, the horse from her husband, and then in between this, I don't remember exactly when this happened. I think it was when, I don't know, but her brother like grabs her thigh and is like, or her leg and is squeezing it and like digging his nails into it. Like, okay, whatever. And he says like, I think this was before they were leaving, and he was like, you know, make him happy or something, because, you know, he needs all the special stuff to rule and everything. It was like, I don't like him either. There's like a whole list that I'm forming of people I don't like. But yeah, so that happened. And then she's with her husband and she's obviously anxious and she keeps saying like I am something blood of the dragon, like I'm the blood of the dragon, I have the blood of the dragon in me or something like that.
It's almost like a mantra.
Yeah, to like hype her up.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And so she's with her husband and they get to, I don't know, somewhere, and he gets off, he puts her on a rock, and then he's like undoing his hair, and then she's helping him, and then they undo like her hair and like her dress or whatever, and the only word he knows is no.
All right.
So he's like, no, no. And then, I mean, it ends with like them like, I think they're about to have sex, but she's not like upset about it anymore, if that makes sense. Like she's kind of like,
and yeah, she seemed like it was consensual.
Yeah.
To me, this is one of those like parts in the book where it's like on the surface, you're like, okay, it seems like she consented to it. She's 13.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
you know, like,
she might have consented, but she is still a kid.
Right.
Like, this is crazy.
You know, and it's another one where it's like, okay, is it this world? Is a 13-year-old in this world?
Yeah.
I don't think so. You know, at the
I don't think so either, bro. Like, this is still weird.
Married off. You know, whether or not she thought she was consenting, yeah, it's crazy.
It's weird. Yeah. But yeah, so that was how it ended. And I was like, it's weird because I was like, this is not normal for a 13-year-old.
No. A couple things that I think, not like major things, but a couple things that I think should be mentioned. The horse, her relationship with the horse.
I mean, it seemed like she liked it. They like made her like ride around or something a little bit, and then she jumped over like some fire pit or whatever.
which I think is also like kind of corny. but I think what it's doing is showing us that somehow it wasn't natural. It wasn't normal for her to get on this horse and be able to have that ability. So there seems to be, I don't want to call it supernatural, but there seems to be extra normal thing that her ability to ride that horse wasn't normal.
Yeah.
And then Viserys's emotions during the wedding.
He was like annoyed that he had to like sit below his sister,
Right.
and he was like, salty about it, that like when like servants were like offering food, they would offer it to her first, and then like he would get the scraps, and he was like, oh, this like you literally decided this, like this was your doing. What are you so mad about?
Right.
But
yeah, even though he has no power, he has nothing, he still views himself as the rightful king. So his the internal conflict there is the problem.
Yeah. Oh, and I forgot to mention, Dany like said to, oh my gosh, I keep pronouncing his name right. Illyrio? Oh my gosh, how do you say it? Magis something Illyrio.
Magistrate Illyrio.
Illyrio. Okay, Illyrio. Anyway, so when she was getting the horse or whatever, she told Illyrio to tell like her husband, like, oh, he gifted me wings or something. And that was like the first time she saw her husband smile, which I thought was like nice, because it made him like more human, because the entire time he was so like stoic and like didn't like talk to her or anything. But
for sure, I think that's a good point.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that was it for that one.
All right, predictions. Let's do the 3 POVs. Tyrion, I don't think he has any kind of extreme decision coming up. He plans on going to the wall. Any thoughts on what lays in Tyrion's near future?
I mean, I can see him getting closer with Jon. They, obviously like talked before, and he showed him that like they have similarities at like them both being like bastards. Technically, Tyrion isn't like a bastard, but he would be considered one since he's a dwarf. So I can see him getting close to Jon if he does go to the wall, which I think he will. I feel like he will. I think that's it for that one.
Jon going to the wall. I think it's pretty obvious he's going to the wall. What's your prediction on how he will receive the wall and how the wall will receive him? Not the physical wall, but the people there, the situation.
I do think he's going to be sort of an outcast because he's so young, and it's clear that like younger kids aren't like, it's not normal for them to go to the wall and become a Night's Watch or whatever. So I think he'll be an outcast, and I think he'll be able to adapt easily, though. He seems like the type to like adapt to his, surroundings easily. So I think he'll be okay, but he's not going to be happy.
Yeah. Okay. Bran, well, we didn't get like too much. Oh, well, we got a little bit of an update. People think that he's going to pull through. Other people are hoping that he dies.
Yeah.
What do you think's going to happen there?
I think he's going to pull through too. It was noted by Tyrion that he thinks like, I don't know if he said this sarcastically, but he thinks like his wolf is like keeping him alive because
I meant to talk about that.
They like his wolf keeps howling, and they try to like shoo him off and like get him out, and then they close the door once, and then once they like close the window, he started like dying for real. And they were like, oh shit, we gotta open this back up. So I don't know if it's like, I don't know how that works. I don't know if there's like any magic powers that like the wolf is actually keeping him alive, or if it's like, keeping his spirit alive. Maybe he can hear the wolf and he's like, man, I gotta get back to my dog.
Beautiful. But I think that's exactly where you're supposed to be with picking up on that. Who else? Dany. She's married. She has a husband. How's that gonna work? Now that she's, I think they mentioned that he has to take her to essentially like the Dothraki capital.
Yeah. Since like they're clearly closer now, I can't see her being like too upset with like the situation, but it's also going to be kind of weird because he only knows one word, which is no. So I don't know how like she's going to communicate with him. Oh, she has her bridesmaid or her handsmaids, so maybe like they can help her.
Yeah.
Okay, so it might be. I don't know if they go with her though to like wherever.
They'll stay with her.
Okay, so then I think she'll be a little like at ease because she has like 3 other girls. I think they're girls. Yes, they're handmaids. With her. So yeah, I think she'll be all right.
Okay, cool. Just smooth sailing. Like,
No. She's
just
chilling,
newlyweds
like.
and just hanging out. I'm sure that's how the story's going to go.
Exactly.
Lannisters. Not that we got any kind of big update on them, but
Bro, I hate
obviously
them.
they're hoping for Bran's death. Yeah, I don't want to. What's your thoughts?
Trying to think. I mean, obviously they're gonna go back to the south, right? Since I predicted that what's his face is gonna die, you know, Robert is gonna die. Something is gonna happen. Maybe the Lannisters are gonna kill him, but I don't know how soon that's gonna happen. So as of right now, I don't really have any info on what I think is gonna happen to the Lannisters.
Cool. All right. What are the next 3 chapters coming up?
So we got Ned. Let's see. Tyrion again. And then Catelyn. Bro, like I don't like her anymore.
It might be good to go back into her mind though, so that we get like her thoughts and emotions and reasons rather than just her outward. And then Jon won't be around, so she won't have that.
Okay, but like even going into her mind, I understand like she's not happy that like Ned cheated on her, but again, don't take it out on the kid. That's not the kid's fault. Like take it out on Ned.
Right. It always comes down to that.
Yeah, I was gonna say like either way, like I get she's angry. Like I understand the anger and everything and like being upset, but you don't have to take it out on the kid.
I agree. Cool. All right. I think that's all we got.
All right, fire.
All right. We'll see you guys next time.